Hey guys, so I've had a couple people that are kind of wanting me to do some reviews on the Morphe products. If you have me on Snapchat, you saw me the other day say Morphe. I have said Morphe for years, and you'd think as a makeup person I would know how to say it correctly and that it was Morphe, but I didn't. But now I do, so I will not make that mistake again. If you catch me saying it on accident, just bear with me. It's what I'm used to saying. So yeah, I was dumb. I was saying Morphe. Anyway, so it's not like a tutorial or anything today. It's just me talking about the Morphe products that I have. So, you know, I've got one palette that's literally over a year old, so it's going to look awful. But, so I'm basically just going to tell you what I have that's Morphe and my personal opinion on it. I've never had a product from them that I didn't like. So that's kind of why I want to do my first review, on them, because I feel like I know the most about them. I'm just talking about products I like because I love talking about makeup. I'm not a famous blogger. I'm not a professional. I just have a lot of people that constantly ask me, which I love. I love that. And you know, when I announced I was going to start kind of doing videos like this, they were really, really excited. So some of you, this is going to be annoying, you're going to keep scrolling, and others are actually going to be interested and they're going to listen to me. So the first one that I want to talk about, because it's literally my favorite, I've only had it for like maybe 2 months, is a Morphe palette, but it's the Jaclyn Hill palette. Okay, literally obsessed with this palette. On the back here, it kind of shows you the colors and whatnot. And I love this. I love her products. This, seriously, almost virtually no fallout. Blends amazingly, like butter, like, oh, I just love it. It's a $38 palette, which for some of you that aren't really into makeup, like back in the day, I would be like, $38 for a palette, you're freaking insane. But now I understand that is seriously a steal. I basically should have stole this for $38 because, well, we'll get to that. Let me show you it first. So it's used, so it's going to be a little messy, but it's okay. So here's kind of the colors that you've got going on. I'm literally doing this on my phone. I'm just like winging it or whatever. So I'm trying to like see what's going on. So you've kind of got everything you could possibly need. Like I am a person who usually does like natural tones kind of, or like a smoky eye or something. But this has got vibrant colors too as well. Now some people, all they want is vibrant. This may not be enough for you, just this kind of small section over here. But for me, I mean, this is perfect. Like I use almost every palette color except for almost maybe these right here. Not because they're not beautiful, but just it's something that I personally don't think I can pull off and I've never really experimented with. So those I haven't used. I mean, you can tell this one down here, that's my favorite. I kind of use it to, no matter what I do with my makeup, it's kind of like my top shimmer here that just kind of makes it pop. So, I mean, I've used that so much. It's like every day. This has become my everyday palette pretty much. And I just love it. And what I was saying about it not being expensive at all, you see how big this palette is. I mean, I can cover my face. And then if you look at, I've got some Tutti Frutti palettes here. Not Tutti Frutti, one is Tutti Frutti. Too Faced palettes. This is a $50 palette right here, guys, okay? From Too Faced. Look at this, $38, 50 freaking dollars for this palette. Not insulting Too Faced, not to be mistaken. I'm just saying that totally worth it. And I'm not bashing Too Faced whatsoever, but between these two, this one blends better. I mean, it's a $38 palette, and I think it blends way better than this. I do like Too Faced products for the most part. And another comparison is this is a Too Faced Tutti Frutti palette. These just came out recently. This is a $34 palette. Okay? This is cheaper than this by a couple dollars, but look at the huge difference. 34, 38. Okay? Like, seriously, like, it's just, yeah. So for this to be only a $38 palette is a freaking steal. So I always recommend if you're going to get started in makeup and you don't know where to start, start with this. It's more expensive than a drugstore palette, but it's not crazy because here's why. When I first started doing makeup, I was using drugstore stuff, which I'm glad I did because I learned so much from it. But here's the thing. I didn't think I was doing my eyeshadow right because they didn't blend very well. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing. That's the problem. No, the problem was that the palette itself it didn't blend well, and that's why I wasn't doing anything. So I was kind of getting discouraged with myself. So I just focused on stuff like my eyebrows and, you know, stuff like that because I just thought it was my fault. Then I started like wanting to kind of get more expensive palettes, and a lot of them I actually purchased on an app called Mercari. Mercari. I think I spelled that right. It's like a buy sell app, and you can sometimes buy, like I just got the smoky eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. You can't even get anymore on there for $25 brand new. So if you're wanting to get started, but maybe you want to do something cheaper, I recommend that app to people, because sometimes I can find stuff 40 to 50% off of retail price on there. So going off subject, but just trying to tell you, you know, resources you can go to start, that's kind of where I started getting more expensive palettes. And then I started going to Morphe because people told me how amazing it was. So here is, I don't have my original palette that I bought from them, my very first one, because I just really didn't use it very much. Not because I didn't like it, but because once I got it, I realized, like, I really don't use these colors. So this is the second one I've ever gotten from them. And it is, like, torn to crap. Like, for almost 6 months, this was my go-to palette. So I'm going to show you this, and yeah, it looks dirty, and there's quite a few colors that are almost gone. But I probably use this for a good 6 months now, 6-7 months, and there's still a lot left. So if you look at this, you can see it's awful. Like, there's like 4 colors there that are almost completely gone. But these run like $24. So these are even cheaper than the Jaclyn Hill palette. I think the main reason the Jaclyn Hill palette is a little more expensive is just because it's the Jaclyn Hill palette, and that's it. It's got her name on it. So again, a good place to start that are cheaper is the Morphe palettes, because they're only $24. So I started going towards these because that's what people told me that I should try. And it was all of a sudden, it was like, oh my gosh, I had the right technique before, I just didn't have the right resources. So these are good, and these are huge. Like I said, I mean, I think the Jaclyn Hill might be, no, they're virtually the same size. This one probably just seems bigger because it's got a different container, but they're virtually the same size. And so I always tell people, if you're trying to get into makeup, start with Morphe. It's amazing, and it's just great for beginners. Like, now I can take an eyeshadow palette that might not be great, and I can mess with it, and there's ways to make it blend better, to make it more pigmented, with things like setting spray, but that's a whole nother subject. But if I would have started off with these, I would have realized that I was doing it right. I just didn't know it. So another one I've got is, this one is the new fall winter palette. It's like 35F. Oh, and this one that I just had, this old one, it is 35OS. I don't even know if they still have this anymore. They might. I mean, like I said, it's not that old, but I feel like Morphe's done a lot lately, and they've kind of got rid of a lot of their palettes. So this one's brand new. I mean, I've used it, but it's like just recently come out. And here's that. This one is the 35F. It's the fall one. I'm going to try and, like I said, this is just phone quality, so I'm not really sure how well you can see that, but it's like winter tones and fall tones. And I really like this one. It's another, I'm a shimmer person, so, oh, hey, Molly. There's my cat just hanging out. Please ignore her. Can't shut the door because they'll just claw the door the whole time. That's all you're going to hear. I like shimmers. I don't use mattes often. I'm just somebody who's way too extra and way too much, and I just want shimmer. And that's what literally all of this is, except for the bottom row. This is matte, and you can tell I haven't really touched it. You can vaguely tell I've touched some of these, which I've used this like 3 or 4 times already. Just not as much as like the Jaclyn Hill palette that I use daily that I love. So there's that one. And then here I've got one of her Vault collections that just came out. This is Jaclyn Hill as well. I try to keep up because I understand some people don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about stuff. So I try to specifically the palette that I'm talking about. So this is part of her Vault collection. There is 4 of these. This one is the, I should say somewhere, Bling Boss palette. I'll show it to you. And I've used this quite a bit too. These are like the colors that I kind of use. I use pinks and I use purples and like dark colors like maroon and stuff. These are very shimmery. I really like them. Here's the thing that's going on with these though. She had an apology video, something like that, talking about the fact that some people were really complaining about these. They weren't pigmented like they should be, like her first one. I mean, if you've had her first palette, yes, you're going to be disappointed with these. And it's not, I don't know what she's doing back there. Anyway, cat mom life. Nah. So because these have come out that they have a lot of fallout from my experience. Mine's not terrible fallout. Here's how I feel. Mine is not terrible enough for me to return it. Now, granted, if I would have bought the entire collection, probably. But they're saying that they have a lot of fallout and they don't blend as well. I don't think mine blend terribly, just not as great as what her first palette does. She came out with another round of these, trying to fix it. Something went wrong with her formula somewhere. Somebody sabotaged her, something. Not that she said this. This is like my interpretation of what's going on. Somebody sabotaged her. Somebody did something wrong. Something went wrong somewhere, and she's trying to fix it. So they're here or there. Like, we've got ones at Ulta that people love, and they've never been returned. So my recommendation is, if you're going to buy these, just go to Ulta and get them. That way, if there is something wrong with them, you can return them. That's my recommendation. Go to Ulta. You can return them if there's something wrong. That is my personal recommendation. I had to piece these videos together because my boyfriend decided to call me right in the middle of these. So, but that's my recommendation on these. I would never say don't buy them, because I do think they're good. I think it's just, right now, it's a gamble game between, are you going to get the new ones, or are you going to get the good ones that she fixed and came out? So that's my interpretation on those. So those are all the palettes I have to show you today, but I just wanted to go through and show you and tell you, that I love Morphe. My customers ask me, I'm starting out with makeup. I don't know what to get, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. I'm like, here you go. You want to start with a drugstore palette? That's fine. Not everybody can. To some people, $38 is really a lot, and they don't want to spend that on a palette, and I understand that. Just know my recommendation to you is that if you use a drugstore palette, really you're wasting your money, because you're not going to get out of it what you should. And I feel like you're going to discourage yourself because you're not going to get the good blending that you should. So that's just my personal opinion. Because I know when I first started, like, even spending, over $8 on a palette, I'm like, are you kidding me? And I thought I was splurging when I spent, like, 15. Oh, by the way, these are 15. I don't know if I said that, but these are only 15. But you can buy them on the website cheaper, like in a bundle. But I'm 99.9% sure when you buy something from Morphe, if you want to return it, you have to pay to have it shipped back. So that's your gamble, how you want to take that. But like I said, once I was spending $15 or even $20 on a palette, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a rebel. So you just learn with makeup. On a side note here from Morphe, with makeup, I've learned you get what you pay for. Now, granted, like, I've got my eyeliner is literally Wet n Wild. I think it's like $8 or $9. Love it. I used to have highlighters that were, I think, also Wet n Wild. They were like $8 or $9. Loved them. It's just, they don't, but the cheaper highlighters and stuff, they're going to look really, really good when you put them on, but they're not going to last. Like this one, I'm pretty sure you guys can see it because I can see it. This I put on this morning at like 8 o'clock, and it's 3 o'clock, and you can still see it. I mean, this is, in case y'all want to know, I'm going off subject again. In case somebody decides to ask me, Naked Cosmetics. This is beautiful. This is totally off subject, but it's fine. Different colored highlighters, like, and yes, they come off like a pink tone or a purple tone because there's different colors in here. But it's more expensive, and it lasts me. And my other thing with most expensive makeups is, it's not only does it last on your face, it lasts you longer. So when you buy a cheap cosmetic, it is not going to give you the life that the other ones are. You're going to have to maybe go back every month, every 2 months, where most other cosmetics products, depending on what we're looking at, I'm not specifying mascara, I'm not specifying anything, but most are going to last you longer, maybe 4 or 5 months. Because if it doesn't last, you're going to use more of it. You're going to be like, oh, my highlighter, I need to touch it up. And so you're going to use it maybe 3 or 4 times a day versus once. Like, you know what I mean? And this isn't even a lot. Like, this is me taking my brush in it once and up, down. That's it. I think, yeah, you can definitely see it on this side. So I just always tell people, you get what you pay for. It doesn't mean you need to go out and spend a freaking $200 at once buying everything you need. Test stuff out. And the other thing I want to let you guys know, anybody who decides to step their foot into Ulta, I just feel like this is important because I feel like this video is kind of me talking about stuff for beginners. Ulta has a return policy of 60 days. Even if you've used it, it can be returned. The reason for this is, we don't want you coming in spending $60, on some stuff. Some people come in and spend $40 on one thing, a foundation, because good foundation is expensive. So say you spend $40 on a foundation and you get it home and you hate it. Like, you thought you liked it when you tested it out there, and then you get it home and you wear it for a day, you're like, this is awful. So now you don't think you can return it, and you're like, I'm never going back there again. Of course I tried makeup and it didn't work for me. I knew it wouldn't. No. Bring it back, return it. We will find something for you. Like, makeup is trial and error because everybody's skin is different. Everybody's complexion is different. You have to keep trying because you will find something for you. There are so many different makeup brands out there that we will find what you need. That is what we do there. That is our main purpose, is to help you. I love when I have customers come in, especially women that tell me they're like, I haven't worn makeup in 15 years. I want to start again. Where do I start? And I do their makeup, you know, not really in a professional manner, just doing it as I'm showing them the products. And they absolutely love it. And they're like, I haven't felt this beautiful in years. So the point is, we want you to try something out, and if you don't like it, bring it back so we can fix it, so we can find something for you. So always remember that, you know, I want people to know that, because so many people come in and they don't know that. They're shocked. They're like, are you serious? I can return this if I don't like it? Yes. I'm not saying take advantage of it and use something freaking halfway and bring it back in. Like, we have people that do that sometimes, and that sucks because you kind of know. But it's our policy, and it's made for those people that truly, truly need it. And that's why it's there. So anyway, I went off subject completely. But at the same time, I think it goes with what I'm saying, because the whole reason I did this is because I love Morphe. It's so good for beginners. I mean, I use it now, and I wouldn't say I'm a professional, but I don't think I'm a beginner at this point. But it's something that's affordable and great to start off with, because it's going to blend great for you, and you're going to be able to experiment with it so well. So I think that's pretty much all I have. I could go off subject more, but I'm going to try not to do that. So share this if you want. I mean, might help somebody out. Like I said, this is literally on my phone. I'm just having fun. I just have some Facebook friends and Snapchat people that want this kind of stuff. They want to hear my reviews because they can go out and know what to buy, or they're beginners, and now I can help them start. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If not, then, well, sorry. But